Hello and welcome to Story Stash. I'm your host Duncan, and these are some of my stories I've written. Today I'm reading from my book Star Guardian, and this is chapter 28. Be sure to subscribe to get the latest updates, and I welcome any feedback. Now, let's get started. Chapter 28, Return. As soon as we got back to ship, Kaluna was waiting to greet us. "Hi, Kaluna. How was it here?" asked Jem. "Quiet. What news of the Baglaji?" she replied. Jem's face fell. "They aren't coming with us. I tried to convince them, but they are no longer what you would describe as a spacefaring race. To interfere with their development would cause too much harm to them," she said. "It was nice to meet with other Baglaji, if only for 2 days," I said. "Yes, nice, but sad. Brian, can you take us back to the Baglaji system, please?" said Jem. "Yes, Captain," I smiled. We all moved to the main bridge. "Ship status report, please," I said. Alder and Bera report another fleet of about 40 vessels moving toward them, most likely on their way to Baglaji. Kala is in orbit around Foe 5. Dura reports no vessels approach the moon during your away mission, said Ship. "Did the protocol injection succeed?" "Confirmed. The Do Not Disturb protocol is installed on all Foe vessels in the system," Ship replied. "Ask Alder and Bera to stand down. The Foe vessels should have a surprise once they try to engage their hyperdrive engines. Have Kala initiate sleep protocol on the vessels in the patrol. Collect the dataport probes and rendezvous with Alder and Bera." "Hey, did the Foe not notice their patrol was missing?" I asked. "Confirmed. Kala reports that the patrol sent regular reports using the proxy protocol. Kala also reports they are taking the patrol to the far side of Foe 5 and initiating sleep protocol. So the sleeping vessels are not visible on scanners," said Ship. "Outstanding work. Please share my appreciation with Kala," I said. "Confirmed," said Ship. "Ship, Dura, please depart the moon and rendezvous with Alder and Bera at the edge of the system. Take it slowly so we are not detected," I said. I would have liked to get out of here quicker, but I was trying real hard not to let the Foe know where we were. Confirmed, ×2. We moved out of our hiding place behind the moon. Jem was watching a view of the township from space. I put an arm around her to comfort her as we left the only other Baglaji we knew of. Ship and Dura crept along undetected towards our exit. We watched the Foe vessels on the tactical display. Their next wave was just reaching the point where they would engage their hyperdrive engines to travel to the Baglaji system. It was a good test of the Do Not Disturb protocol. I hoped it would work, and the Foe could not stop it. Suddenly the red dots on the tactical display representing the next wave all turned grey. Then they changed directions and accelerated. Soon after, the Foe vessels were gone from the system. I had a good feeling for the near future at least. They could send vessels out to random systems for weeks before they figure out something is not working right. A while later we arrived at the edge of the system and reunited with Alder and Bera. Kala arrived soon afterwards. "Ship, Alder, Bera, Kala, and Dura, I'm extremely pleased with your performance on this mission." "Thank you. Ship, please take the fleet back to Baglaji," I said. "Confirmed," said Ship, soon after we engaged our hyperdrive engines. "Estimated time to fleet arrival in Baglaji system is 4 days," said Ship. Travel back to the Baglaji system was an uneventful 4 days. On the 4th day, We appeared in the system and were greeted by Molly. "Welcome back to the Baglaji system. In your absence, we have had no visitors," said Molly. "That is good news. We have done our best to make sure you don't get further unwanted visitors from the foe system. Please note that the last wave they tried to send was about 40 foe vessels. I do not expect you to see a wave of more than that number, so please design your system defenses to handle about that many vessels," I said. "Confirmed," said Molly. "Ship, please share with Molly how we could inject via the foe communications network. It may be of benefit," I ordered. "Confirmed," said Ship. "Alder, Bera, Kala, and Dura, I am transferring you to Molly to serve in defense of this system. I expect your contribution to be significant. Molly, these are capable vessels. Please use them however will fit into your plans," I said. "Confirmed," said Molly. The 4 unmanned vessels moved off to take on their new duties. "Take us to an orbit around Baglaji 4, please," I said. "Confirmed," said Ship. "Jem, Kaluna, and I have a little side mission for us. With the system secure for the foreseeable future, I thought it would be nice for us to visit the planet below. I have accommodation down on the surface. We can take a shuttle down and spend a day or 2 there," I said. Both smiled at me. "I'd love to do that," said Jem. "It would be a nice change to being aboard ship while you 2 have all the fun," said Kaluna. We had little preparation to do, just grab a few things and meet at the shuttle. I piloted the shuttle down to the settlement I had asked Molly to create while we were away. The site was perfect, a beautiful lake surrounded by a green valley. I landed the shuttle near the habitation unit. I asked Molly to take care of this before we left. I wanted something comparable for the Baglaji if we brought any back with us, I said. "It's beautiful," exclaimed Jem. "It reminds me of the site of the township on the moon, only better." I expect Molly referenced the data from the probe and looked for a suitable match. "This was where they might have stayed," I said. Kaluna hugged me. "Fantastic job, Brian," said Kaluna. "Well, it makes a good vacation home. If you would like to select a habitation unit, we can move our things in and we can explore a little before dinner," I said. I let them choose. I could not hope to select the right one, even though they are all identically equipped. We walked around the site. The construction bots had installed some nice pathways and landscaping. We followed a trail down to the lakeshore and had a seat on one of the several benches placed there. We sat and watched the afternoon sun over the lake. I made a note to thank Molly. This was just perfect. "Well, I wanted to visit my home world and see the sights," said Jem. "I can cross that off my list." "You also got to meet other Baglaji, just not here," said Kaluna. I reached for my small communications device. "Molly, is the lake safe to bathe in? Are there any aquatic predators or other hazards?" I asked. Jem and Kaluna looked at me. "The lake is confirmed safe. There are no predators or other hazards. The water is warm, having been heated by the sun all day. I even had the beach graded in that area, with smooth sand for your enjoyment," replied Molly. "Thank you, Molly." I put my communicator away. "I think it is time we go for a swim in the lake. I, for one, have never been in a lake on this planet before, and I plan to change that. Would you care to join me?" I asked my companions. "I don't know how to swim," replied Jem. "The beach is shallow. We can just go in up to our waist and splash around," I said. Kaluna smiled. We took off our clothes and proceeded to the water. The water was nice and warm, and I walked out holding 2 hands. We were soon more than waist deep in the lake. We splashed each other and laughing and playing about in the lake. After all the stress that we had been through recently, this was sorely needed. Even Jem had forgotten her worries and was joining in. Kaluna dived under and came up and swam along. Her tall and graceful figure was a delight to see as she gracefully swam around us. I should have figured she knew how to swim. When we returned to the bench where we had left our clothes, there was a maintenance bot there with some towels and drinks. This was awesome. We dried and put our coveralls back on. The sun was getting low in the sky. Swam in the lake. Check. Watched a Baglaji sunset. Check, I said. Jem smiled. Brian, thank you for this, said Jem. Yes, this was special, added Kaluna. Well, the lake and the sunset were not my doing. If you like, you can thank Molly for the improvement, I said, blushing. Let's have dinner. We ambled together arm in arm along the path back to the habitation unit. It kind of felt too big compared to living in a small cabin on ship. It had separate rooms and a nice covered terrace looking out toward the lake with a table and chairs. Jem went to the food dispenser and ordered some traditional Baglaji food for us. We took our meal to the terrace and sat together and ate as we watched the sun go behind the mountain. We slept well that night. We did not wake up in time to see the sunrise, though. We went through the usual morning ritual and had a light breakfast together on the terrace. This has been a wonderful visit. I will cherish the memory of our time here. But now what do we do next? Where shall we go? Said Jem. When we signed on as crew, you said the Baglaji were peacekeepers. Is there a peace to keep somewhere? Asked Kaluna. Perhaps we could travel to distant systems and search for traces of other Baglaji vessels. Ship may suggest some areas where to look, I offered. We have been to my home world and Jem's home world. We could visit Brian's home world, said Kaluna. I really don't want to return to Tian Prime, I said. What about Earth? You said your mother was from there, said Kaluna. Earth is a closed world in a closed system. We cannot go there even if I wanted to, which I do not, I said. Then where would you go? Asked Jem. I like searching for more Baglaji. Also, I could go after some more pirates. We could stop by some friendly systems to see if they had any recent pirate trouble, I replied. Okay, pirates, peacekeeping, and searching for more Baglaji. Sounds like a plan, said Jem. When do you want to start? I asked. Let's clean up breakfast and tidy up a bit. Then we can return to ship, replied Jem. We did just that. I piloted the shuttle, and we did one last flyby over the valley and the lake. It was beautiful. It cost the lives of the crew of at least 4 foe vessels, and a war with the foe. I wondered if it was worth it. Well, that's the end of chapter 28. Next episode is chapter 29, Epilogue. So, hope to see you next episode. Until then, goodbye.